GOP is raising hell, and that's because justice is denied. It will continue to be denied until we put enough pressure on the federal government to be honest. Isn't that a pipe dream? Latest article by Fox News says that GOP anger grows over Biden's administration potential plea deal for suspected 9/11 architects. And as you can see, Republican lawmakers are turning up the heat against the Pentagon's potential plea deal that could mean no 9/11 architects or co-conspirators could ever face death penalty. There is a current idea swirling in the Biden administration that is growing very impatient with the snail-like movement regarding this trial. And it's not even a trial. We didn't even start yet. Of the Guantanamo Five, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Ramzi bin al-Shibh, Amr al-Baluchi, Tawfiq bin Attash, and Mustafa al-Hawsawi. These are the five men who are being charged for the planning and operation of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, whether it's organizational, logistical, or financial support. Okay. Republican lawmaker, Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas, and Representative Nicole Malliotakis, Representative Republican of New York, sent a letter Monday to Secretary of State Lloyd Austin, calling a potential plea deal completely unacceptable, and it would rob victims' families of a full measure of justice. Make no mistake, any outcome short of the death penalty for the September 11 plotters would be completely unacceptable, the letter states. These families have already been robbed of loved ones. They should not also be robbed of the full measure of justice in this case. September 11 plotters of mass murders deserving of the ultimate punishment. Indeed, if there are persons walking the face of the earth who are deserving of that penalty as these five men, what about the CIA, who basically withheld information from the FBI? What about the Israeli operation team in the moving front companies and the art student ring who collected information about the planes operators and their affiliates in the years 2000 2001? What about the Saudi operatives who provided financial and logistical support to two 9/11 al-Qaeda operatives who were involved with the hijacking of Flight 77 and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Ramzi bin al-Shibh? These are the people being protected by these people. So I don't want to hear about justice from the GOP or justice from, or this cover up involving government malfeasance and maybe foreign intelligence infiltration of these groups by the Democrats. None of them are involved with justice. They don't care. This is all hogwash, right? Because if they actually cared about justice, this would be an everyday occurrence. This is because we're just September 4th. We're 7 days away, a week away from the anniversary. This is all happenstance, right? This is all for show. We care. Hey, we care. Hey, we want justice, right? No, you don't. Blowing shit out your ass. That's what you're doing. They don't care about justice because every day you would hear from Ted Cruz. Every day you would hear from Malliotakis. Every day you would hear from Rachel Maddow or from whoever's at CNN these days, right? Or from Fox, right? Or the Blaze or whatever, right? Even alt media, man, none of them. They all failed. They all failed in regards to 9/11. I'm no longer alt media fan. So, so many people failed in regards to keeping tabs on the September 11 attacks, especially now when it's like 22 years later. Now more information is coming out. The last 4 years, we've had Operation Encore and the Canistral documents. What? Anybody covering it? No. When Operation Encore came out, the first news article that I read about was from NorthJersey.com. About 2 weeks later, we heard from ABC, CBS. That was a day or two covered. That was it. Nothing, right? Nothing. Now, recently, we've had a surprise. Democrat Vivek Ramaswamy basically brought up or hinted at the Canistral documents and the Operation Encore files. Who is he actually interviewed by? A crackpot, Alex Stein. He actually went on Tucker Carlson, and who I think is suspicious as fuck, but Hey, he's the only one talking about it. I don't see Trump. I don't see Biden. The only thing good about Biden was Biden at least gave us Executive Order 14010, which was the release of Operation Encore Files. Donald Trump made a whole bunch of promises. Oh yeah, I'll tell you who blew up the towers. Nope. Not only that, not even when that happened, when he was the president. 9/11 Truth Movement had their chance. They blew it there. Didn't even. I heard nothing. Crickets when it came to the Trump administration. That was your chance. You failed. Now with Biden, basically being the only sitting president that has released documents regarding the follow-up to the Pentagon investigation by the FBI. At least he gave us something. Everyone else, all these people, this is all show. Cruz told Fox News Digital in a statement Tuesday, if the terrorist attacks have never faced trial, the American people and the victims of the horrific attack will be denied justice and closure they rightfully deserve. Now, what I'm going to do is just going to blow this up just one more time. This way you could read it too, along with me, right? So he added that he and Maliotakis be working to ensure that the Biden administration is responsive to congressional oversight, especially as we consider government funding. It's been 22 years since September 11 terrorist attacks. My colleagues and I are telling the President of the United States that plea deals for the terrorists responsible for those horrific attacks are unacceptable. These murderers deserve the death penalty. Nothing less, Maliotakis posted on X, which I'm going to call Twitter. X is retarded. Formerly known as Twitter, right? Here's Nicole Maliotakis. Now, I don't even know who Nicole Maliotakis is, and I live in New York. So much for making a change and so I don't vote. These people, they don't represent us. So anyway, after September 11th, you're not going to hear from her. You're not going to hear from Ted Cruz. You're not going to hear from any Democrat. Because after September 11th will come the fall. And most likely what will happen is, since we called, before we enter the Thanksgiving, Christmas season, all you're going to hear about is how, the trivial things that will rip the fabric of America, right? Racism, politics, religion, sexism, anything to keep us divided and interested in the nonsensical things. This is why I enjoy the Libertarian Institute and antiwar.com, the only true voices of anti-war, right? They actually report daily, not every other day, daily on the incidents happening abroad in our name. Now, you would think 22 years later, the 9/11 Truth Movement would be basically full force, because we have evidence now, thanks to the Canestraro document, that the CIA was involved with an illegal operation. And the 9/11 Truth Movement loves to basically declare that they're against the state, that we hate the state, we hate the CIA, we hate Israel, the government anyway, Zionist government, right? Well, all right, here we have halfway through, right? Gerald Shea document, I'm doing a chapter reading. Okay, I'm the only one doing it. 9/11 Truth Movement is still talking about World Trade Center 7. Go figure. Look, they're not going to talk about this revelation. Why? Because their fringe theories get in the way, right? They don't believe hijackers. So that means the Canestraro document's irrelevant. It's a piece of paper to them, because that would mean that the CIA created the hijackers out of thin air, or they're chasing ghosts, or they're chasing patsies, as some of them would say, right? So that, what do we care about that? Tells you the stupidity of that movement that's involved with that movement now. Who to blame? Who to blame? Brett Eagleson had him on the show earlier. Great spokesman for 9/11 Truth, president of 9/11 Justice 9/11, a grassroots organization made up of 9/11 survivors and victims' families. Oh, by the way, did the 9/11 Truth we talk about 9/11 Truth or Justice 9/11? No. Do they talk about Brad Dixon? Nope. Do they talk about the victim, Elizabeth Miller and her grassroots group? No, they don't talk about any of these people. One thing I'm critical about is foreign and domestic intelligence, but 9/11 Truth Movement, you know, I stopped doing pause and plays and critiques about them. I think it's low hanging fruit. It's no challenge. But boy, are they hypocrites, right? They care about the victims' families and stuff. Do they talk to these people? Are they involved with these grassroots organizations? No, because they're not crackpot enough. Because Red Eagleson will laugh at them. What do you mean no plane hit the Pentagon? Yeah, you're an idiot, right? They don't want nothing to do with that. And next weekend, I might go down to Ground Zero. September 11th is a Monday, but the festivities will be the weekend. Maybe I'll go. But I'm going to see the regular idiots there, right on the corner, 10 of them. They're on two corners. You have one on the corner by the church, which is 2 blocks away from Ground Zero, and about 3 or 4 blocks east, you'll have another group that just thinks that the World Trade Center came down with a nuclear device and that the hijackers are alive. I mean, this is what we're dealing with in terms of activism. It's dead. There is no activism. There's more online activism than there is street activism. Street activism is dead. Why? Because these people ruined it. Okay. This is an absurd betrayal of justice, Eagle says, of the negotiations. It's true. This is all about the fact that they're entering into plea deals, which would allow these 5 inmates to avoid a public trial, and we deserve better Americans. He's right. Now, here's the real horrifying aspect of this. If there's no trial, we'll never know what the government has or didn't have for the next 30, 40 years. Because whatever little information that they do have, or maybe they have a lot, we'll never know because it'll be classified. Locked away in the National Archives of Maryland for the next 30, 40 years, maybe 50. Like JFK. The worst, because we can't dissect what they didn't have. That's the most important, what they didn't have. Because what they got was from torture. And like I said before, if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed waterboarded 161 times, 181 times, or 61 times, some absurd number, 161 times, waterboarded 161 times, he'll tell you anything. He'll tell you he, crafted the Michelangelo David, right? Just to get you to stop. Even if he told the truth. I orchestrated and planned 9/11. I happen to believe he did because he actually gave an interview before he was captured by the American government to Yossi Fruda, who worked at Al Jazeera. They wrote a book about it called Masterminds of Terror, and I interviewed the co-author, Nick Fielding, who worked with Yossi Fruda about that interview. He was actually contacted in Britain by a member of Al-Qaeda and said, would you like to talk with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed? And he had to go through a lot of protocols, Yossi Fruda. He had to go to a cab, go to a safe house, and then go to another safe house. He was being followed. Blindfolded. The cab took him to the safe house, I think it was in Karachi, Pakistan, where he met Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Ramzi bin Al-Shibh. We are families who have been fighting for 22. And by the way, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed told them that they orchestrated 9/11, planned 9/11. And by the way, and just with that, okay, even if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed told the truth, how do we know it's the truth? He's tortured. This is the reason why I think the CIA did what they did. This is all speculation right here. I believe the CIA did this so that the public could never truly know whether or not Khalid Sheikh Mohammed told the truth. Because it would lead to, if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed told the truth, that Al-Qaeda was behind 9/11, then that would mean that bin Laden, Ramzi bin Al-Shibh, Khalid al-Mihdhar, Nawaf al-Hazmi, the hijackers, we would have to look into these people even more deeply and see the handprints of intelligence. Wait a minute. You're telling me that the NSA heard these phone calls involving the Yemen hub and bin Laden's satellite phones, which were used by Al Qaeda? Well, give us the transcripts, NSA. Oh, wait a minute. The CIA knew about Khalid al-Mihdhar, Nawaf al-Hazmi inside the United States? Oh, wait a minute. That's uncovered now through the Canestraro document. What else are you hiding? CIA? Oh, wait. The FBI is covering up the fact of Saudi influence in the terrorists inside the United States? Hey, Robert Mueller, you were director. Gail Watson, you're the associate director. Let's talk about why you covered up this. See, now we're talking, Turkey here. Oh, wait a minute. The Israelis were watching all the people involved with 9/11 living in Florida? Hey, what's the name of these people? Now we're talking, right? If we don't have that information, if we believe, not knowing, if we believe Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, which we can't because he was tortured. Hey, where's the information? Oh, it's actually classified. It's in the National Archives. We made a deal. We took the death penalty off the table. They'll be in Guantanamo forever. This is what Brett Eagleson is fighting for. Elizabeth Miller and from the 9/11 Peaceful Tomorrows group, fighting for justice as well. I think they don't want the death penalty, but they are fighting for more accountability by the federal government. So this is the horrifying aspect of we need a trial. I'm with Brett Eagleson here. We need a trial because I want to know what the government has as evidence. And I'm irrelevant. Brett Eagleson is the real victim here. Elizabeth Miller is the victim. Bob McIlvaine is the victim. They deserve it. These are families who lost loved ones in 9/11. Cruz and Malatakis join Representative Mike Lawler, Republican out of New York, House Republican Conference Chairwoman Elise Stefanik, Republican out of New York, and Representative Pat Brown, Democrat in New York, who sent a letter to the Biden administration last week criticizing the possible plea deal. Oh, look, Democrats and Republicans working together. Oh my. I thought there were two parties. See, this whole left and right narrative, you're going to have to wake up, right? There is no such thing. There's only a Democrat Republican when it comes to domestic issues. And that's just meant for us to keep us divided. Right? There's one party here. The backlash comes as the victims' families of the 9/11 attack received a letter August 1st from the Pentagon informing them the federal government may consider a plea deal for principal architect Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and his 4 co-conspirators seeking to avoid the death penalty. Fox News Digital received a copy of the letter, which was first obtained by the Associated Press. There's some misconception here. Years ago, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was wanting the death penalty, actually wanted to go to trial because they were going to plead guilty to all of 9/11. Now the law firms of these people are basically saying, you know what? We got a case. All the stuff that they admitted to under torture is going to be thrown out. And this is the reason why this is in a military tribunal, right? Because if it was in a federal court like the Southern District of New York, they would have the affordability of a speedy trial. This is the longest trial in history, 22 years. And basically, it didn't even start. And the reason we can blame this on are two agencies, the CIA and the federal government under Bush, under Obama, under Trump, under Biden. The whole federal government. They're covering up for their allies, Saudi Arabia and Israel, regarding their intelligence services in the years 2000 and 2001. That's all. Nothing else. Federal government had nothing to do with the attacks. Stop blaming Bush and Cheney. You think they want? You think you want that idiot Bush to know about details of 9/11? Guy's in front of a camera all the time. He's as dumb as a box of rocks. You don't want that guy in front of a camera blabbing. Or even the brilliant, geopolitical politician and Dick Cheney. Shrewd as he is, he's in front of a camera all the time. The details of 9/11, the people who know specifics, right? They're not in front of a camera ever. Same thing like JFK. You want that stuff to be silent. Either those people are dead or they're from a foreign intelligence that are not inside the United States. They're not going to be talking about conspiracies involving these incidents. In response, more than 2,000 family members of those killed in 9/11 attacks fired back in a letter saying without a trial would continue to keep the information provided to Muhammad's legal team, information that no doubt would shed light on the identity of the 9/11 co-conspirators, secret and hidden, not only from 9/11 families, from the American public. Bingo! Brett Eagleson is awesome. He's right. Was it Brett Eagleson or who is that? Oh, it was Elise Stefanian, which she's right. This is what I was talking about. We'll never know what the government had or didn't have. Negotiations which began more than a year ago have not concluded. Come amid allegations Al-Qaeda prisoners being held at Guantanamo endured torture, including waterboarding at the hands of the CIA. These allegations have raised concerns about the potential impact on prosecutors because it could damn no case. Unless you have the videotape evidence showing that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Ramzi bin al-Shibh, which was obtained by Yossi Fuda. And according to them, the CIA has it. Why don't they present it in court? That's before they were tortured. Now, look, could very well be that Al-Qaeda had some hand in 9/11, but that foreign intelligence could also be involved. Is that so far outside the box to believe that? Say, for example, if 9/11 was planned in the year 2000 or late 99, according to sources that we know and trust, the Khalid Sheikh Mohammed met with bin Laden, and that the Bajinka plot, which was a transnational plot involving 12 airliners blown up over the Pacific with bombs in Timex watches, which Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was behind with his nephew, Ramzi Youssef, the mastermind 9/3 bombing. What if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was overheard by foreign intelligence on the phone? Remember, the NSA was listening. Was the NSA the only one? We don't know what Israel has. We don't know what Saudi Arabia has, Pakistan. But Israel, Saudi Arabia, we know for sure running intelligence inside the United States. Hey, if they're running it here, you don't think they're running it out there where it counts? Right? Because 9/11 is an outside operation. Everybody says inside job. That's such a dumb term. It's outside. Most of the major players are outside, not here. Cover-up is here. Maybe the inside job is about the cover-up. But the real stuff, the real meat and potatoes is outside. Bin Laden, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Israel, Saudi Arabia, that's all outside the United States. So could it be that the intelligence services got wind of the plot, manipulate the plot? Very well could be. We're jumping around right here, right? Because we have very little information. But what we do know with the little information that we have is that the CIA, Saudi intelligence, Israeli intelligence were monitoring the people that were involved with 9/11 inside the United States. That we do know. We know for sure. That's not speculation. That's coming from primary source material, which I'm reading to you in my series. The Gerald Shea memorandum, the report on the joint inquiry, the 3-day video on the counter-trail documents I did. And the only person who is even coming close to this is Vivek Ramaswamy of all people. Where'd this guy come from, right? No one's talking about this stuff, and this is groundbreaking. Nobody from the Republicans or the Alex Jones. I know some of you libertarians, you think he's like the second coming. He's telling you the truth. The guy's full of shit. He is no different than Fox or CNN, right? A broken clock is right twice a day. He'll tell you what you already knew. This is like the CIA in the Senate torture report when the Senate torture report released under Dianne Feinstein, right? The CIA said that the torture methods worked because when we tortured Abu Zubaydah and when we tortured Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and when we tortured Ramzi bin al-Shibh and Omar al-Baluchi, right? When we tortured these people, they gave us information that helped stop these attacks. You know what the Senate Select Report Committee said? No information stopped the attacks because the intelligence was already there, provided to by the domestic intelligence services of the FBI or the CIA or the NSA. So they lied. Just like in every aspect, right, regarding what we have now. This information's been out there. Counter-trail documents, Operation Encore, Pentagon, the Joint Inquiry Report. Go listen to Carl Levin when he grilled Cofer Black and George Tenet and Tom Wilshire. Nobody from the True Movement's talking about that or the media. All right, that's all out there. I don't see any presidential electee. The only ones, like I said, Vivek Ramaswamy. Nobody else is talking about it. Trump, the GOP, Glenn Beck, Alex Jones. All this information is out there. Is Alex Jones talking about, is InfoWars talking about the counter-terror document? They talk about Operation Encore? No, they'll talk about stuff that you already know and then claim it's groundbreaking. And then 90% of the time, they'll facilitate really liberal conspiracy theories and then mix it up with really fringe theories. And what Alex Jones does is that people gravitate to him and say, hey, he's telling us something new. It's radical because he's loud, he's braggadocious, he's a man, right? So he basically gravitates to young males between the ages of 16 and say 35, mostly from the Republican side, because they play this braggadocious term of being a man, right? And you have this small community in the libertarian community that gravitate toward him. I don't know why. I've been telling you to watch out for this guy for years. You don't want to listen, that's fine by me. He's a bullshitter. He covered up Sandy Hook. He covered up 9/11. He covered up 93 with these fringe freaking theories. I mean, just about last year, I made a critique video on that one guy, the guy with the beard. Damn, I forgot the guy with the beard. He's on his show. He has like this beard without the mustache, like a ginger. Anyway, talking about how no plane crashed in Shanksville, all this stuff. And this is like last year, right? So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that he's a true, he's not. He's a liar. In the same fashion that Don Lemon and, Tucker Carlson, they're all liars. Every single one of them. If they were telling the truth, if Tim Pool and Alex Jones and CNN and Fox, they were telling the truth, Mortivity's gift, that'd be the end. You would never hear the end of them. It would be the end. Their platform is gone. Alex Jones and InfoWars, they're a multi-million-dollar corporation. They make millions. You saw the trial of Sandy Hook, how much they make every year. You think a truth-telling podcast or program is going to make that much money? You're living in fucking la-la land, all right? Bullshit. Alex Jones is full of shit. End of story. National Security Council spokesman Adrian Watson told Fox News Digital in a statement that the Office of the Chief Prosecutor for the Military Commissions within the Department of Defense sent the letter, and the White House was not consulted in advance regarding the letter, and it reflects no policy shift, decision guidance, or anything else from the White House. We remain deeply committed to justice for victims of terrorism as well as accountability for its perpetrators, the statement said, and that was the end of the article. Wow. Look, smoke and mirrors. We're a week away from the 9/11 attacks, 22nd anniversary. The media has failed us. All media has failed us. The 9/11 truth movement has failed us. The federal government has failed us. The intelligence services have failed us. Who is it left up to? The very few people who are bringing you the facts and the truth of 9/11. It's like finding a diamond in a gold mine, unfortunately. Now, for the average person out there, they're basically saying, you know what? This is such a big issue. 20 years now, let's get it over with. We got bigger things to worry about. COVID mandates, the election, financial struggles that are happening in primarily Democrat cities like San Fran, Los Angeles, New York City. The continued degradation of the small businesses in Republican cities like Arkansas and Alabama, Texas. When you realize that the very people that you give support to politically are actually the enemies of the American consciousness and the welfare being of all of us, is when you start feeling very alone. And I don't blame you for those people that say, you know what, it's too big, can't fight it, let's just give in, and I'll just keep to me and mine own. Well, that's how they stay in power. We need more voices. Almost every third video, I'm always saying, you open up a channel, write an article. You have to do what I do. I go overboard. Every day I try to release a video or write something or release documents and files. But that's me. You don't have to be like me. 5 minutes of your time, 10 minutes of your time, it's all we need. 5-minute video talking about, you don't have to talk about 9/11. Talk about the real aspects of war, what's happening in Ukraine or Yemen. Something that will affect the public consciousness into thinking outside the box instead of being compartmentalized through ideology. Because that's what's happening to us. And if we don't get the truth about 9/11, what makes you think we'll get the truth about anything at all? Now, in the next couple of days, we're going to have more attention provided to 9/11. And there's going to be a lot of disinformation. There's going to be a lot of pomp and circumstance from the legacy media. Oh, the anniversary is coming up. Let's talk about the procession and the reading of the names. Let's talk about the Counter-Trail document. Let's talk about the Gerald Shea memo. Let's talk about the Operation Encore files. Let's talk about Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's torture by the CIA. Let's talk about the plea deals. Let's talk about Brett Eagleson, 9/11 justice. Let's talk about Elizabeth Miller and the Peaceful Tomorrow's group. Let's talk about Bob McLevin. Let's talk about these issues and give it the respect it deserves. If you're going to come at me with no plane at the Pentagon, Shankville, don't bother. I'm just going to block and ignore you forever. I am not doing any more critique videos of these people like Christopher Bolin and Rebecca Roth and Barbara Honegger. They deserve our silence from now on. These people are not serious people. We need serious people. I mean, we're well beyond the point. We need more voices, serious voices. I've been calling for a new 9/11 truth movement for years. Because what's in it now is basically the leftovers of the crackpots. mean, what effect have architects and engineers had so far? Probably more than Lawyers Committee, probably more than the new group led by Ted Walter. They've been around a long time, but have they gotten anybody past the 3,000 mark? Why is it always 3,000, not 5,000? What about 10,000? What about 20,000? 22 years and just stuck at what? 3,000 architects and engineers? There were over 500,000. No, I'm sorry. So it was a 1.8 million architects and engineers. Why isn't everybody on board? Fuck, give me half. You can't use the excuse that, oh, they're pressured and, this, bullshit. Either your activism sucks or the people that you commiserate with are holding you back. I've been telling you this for years. I know what to get from the media. Silence. I don't watch TV. Haven't watched TV in 14 years. Okay. I don't watch the news. I don't vote. I don't believe in a left and right narrative. There's an us, the people, and there's a them. Remember what George Carlin said. Now, in a couple of days, you'll hear from respected 9/11 researchers like DJ Thermal Detonator, Sean Russell and Darren Harvey from Beyond Ground Zero podcast, Ben and Eric from the Project for New American Century podcast. I'll be out and about. I think I'm doing an interview today with Sam Whipp and the Black Flag podcast, and Tommy Salmon's on Thursday, and I think the Jackman brothers want me on their show, I think. So I'll be talking with them. Of course, I'm always available for anybody who wants to talk with me, but I'm not going to go on just about anybody's show. I'm very selective. And even if I have I'm not going to go on any program that, promises me more numbers. That's not what I'm about. In fact, I block people that follow me that, don't believe in planes. I'm selective. Because I want serious people. I vet people that follow me, even though I need numbers. But I'm not interested in numbers. I'm interested in real people. I'm interested in providing justice for the people that deserve it. So I'll end it right here. That's a rant, and of course, reading some news. But if you're somewhere in the fence, like I don't like showing my face and stuff like that. We don't need to see your beautiful face, right? Look at me. I'm 53, missing a bottom tooth now. So it's about the message. It's about what's in here. Right? So if you have, and I know that there are some of you who are very knowledgeable people. I read some of your, comments in the YouTube videos and Twitter and other viral media. We need you. The people need you. The 9/11 victims' families need more people involved. Because if we allow the media and the 9/11 Truth Movement to basically speak on our behalf, we're going nowhere. End of story. All right, guys. See you in the next video, and I'll see you soon. And have a good week, everybody.